Racer. My topic is all about frustration aggression theory. Frustration aggression hypothesis, otherwise known as theory of the frustration aggression displacement theory, is an aggression proposed by John Dillard, Neil E. Miller et al. In 1939 and further developed by Miller et al. In 1941 and Leonard Berkowitz in 1969. The theory says that aggression is the result of blocking or frustrating a person's efforts to attain a goal. So, examples ng frustration aggression theory kay workplace, sports, traffic, or family. The next is the frustration aggression hypothesis attempts to explain why people scapegoat. It attempts to give an explanation as to the cause of violence. The theory developed by John Dillard and colleagues says that the frustration causes aggression, but when the source of the frustration cannot be challenged, the aggression gets displaced onto an innocent target. So, another example sa frustration and aggression. First is displacement. If the source of frustration is inaccessible or too powerful, aggression may be displaced into a more vulnerable or socially acceptable target. Second one is modified factors. So, later research acknowledged that frustration does not always lead to aggression factors such as individual differences, situational cues, and learned responses can mediate the relationship between frustration and aggression. So, mao to, sir. Thank you.
Experimentation. The frustration aggression hypothesis proposed by Dillard et al. In 1939 state that aggression is always the result of frustration. Frustration occurs when a goal-directed act is blocked or delayed. Stimulating aggression proportional to the intensity of the blockage. Aggression is defined as a deliberate violation toward source of frustration or redirected to substitutes. Dale and Anderson experiment. Dale and Anderson tested whether justified versus unjustified frustration influence aggression. Subject perform a time origami task under three conditions. First, control justified frustration and unjustified frustration. After interruption, the experimental either slowed down control, refused due to supervisor schedule, justify, or refuse due to personal reason, unjustified. Case measurement. Participants complicated questionnaires rating the research staff ability and likability. This rating had real consequence as they determined financially aid and possible reprimands for the staff. This negative evaluation reflected behavioral aggression. Measurement. First is ng justified frustration group rated staff lowest in ability and unlikability. Second is justified frustration group rated staff lower than control but higher than unjustified group. Third is control group related staff most positively. These findings show that frustration, especially when unjustified, increase aggression. Last is implementation. The study supports FAH by demonstrating that frustration leads to aggressions, but the degree depends on perceived justification. Inhibition of aggressions can itself reinforce frustration, while experienced aggressions may reduce tendency through catharsis. However, frustration persists as long as goal blockage continue.
Frustration aggression theory. The frustration aggression theory states that aggression is caused by frustration when someone is prevented from reaching their important goal or satisfying one of their important needs. They become frustrated. This frustration can then turn into aggression when the right trigger is present. For example, if you failed in your final exam, you will definitely become frustrated. But what if someone you barely know told you are such a loser not to pass that exam? In this case, your stirred frustration will surely turn into aggression. Note that the frustration-aggression theory does not provide explanation to all types of aggression, but it rather focuses on the aggression thus result from not being able to reach your goals. So, your goal ni mo ani diri is makapasar sa exam, but wala makapasar sa exam, na frustrated ka, tas ginapin ka sa laing tao nga you're such a loser na to pass that exam. So this is trigger that will result the aggression. Definition: the frustration aggression theory argues that social movements occur when frustration leads to collective, often aggression behavior. Frustration has a variety of sources and can take two forms. First, it can be absolute, which happen when people do not have enough to survive. Absolute meaning is frustrated ka kay wala kay hapit makaon, wala kay hapit kwarta, inana. And second is it can be relative, which happen when people have enough to survive but have less than those around them. Relative is nakay kanang makasurvive ka, nakay kwarta, nakay makaon, but less than lang sa uban. Example: you're hurriedly typing up a research paper in your school library that's due in 30 minutes. You panic and stress that you won't finish it in time. You completed the task 10 minutes before your class starts. A sense of relief overcomes you. You click print and wait by the printer while giving you a mental high five. Yet the printer, the only one in the library, beep signaling a malfunction. There is a major paper jam. A feeling of extreme frustration overcomes you. So nagpanik ka kay ang exam kay napoy 10 minutes o sa magsugod ng exam, so nagdali ka adto niya sa kuan para ma-print ninyo sa inyo library, but na-sign kag relief kay hapit naman nimo ma-print, but it turns out nga katong ang printer is guba. So katong imo na relief na wagtang na is less than og extreme frustration.
Hi, my name is Malil Jikai, and I'm here to discuss about frustration, aggression, and frustration-aggression principle. Frustration is the feeling of irritation and annoyance when something blocks you from achieving the goal. For example, your goal is to finish your research paper on time. However, it is being hindered by the printer's malfunction. Because of the frustration you feel, you throw your backpack in exasperation and proceed to kick it several times. This is an example of frustration turning into aggression. So, what is aggression? Aggression is a malicious behavior or attitude towards someone or something usually triggered by frustration. Frustration happens when you want to finish your research paper on time, but the printer breaks and stops you from reaching your goal. This makes you feel upset and annoyed. Because of this strong frustration, you throw your backpack and kick it many times. This action shows aggression. So, frustration is the feeling, and aggression is what happens when the feeling becomes too much. So, let's move on to frustration-aggression principle. The frustration-aggression principle states that when a person's goal is blocked or interrupted, they experience frustration. And this frustration can lead to aggressive behavior. The closer the person is to achieving their goal, the stronger the frustration will be when something stops them. However, not everyone who feels frustrated becomes aggressive. Only those who believe that aggression helps reduce their frustration are more likely to act aggressively. For example, Mark was in a hurry and wanted to reach his destination quickly when the car in front of him didn't move even though the light had already turned green. His goal was blocked. This caused him to feel frustrated. Because of this frustration, he acted aggressively by overtaking the car and shouting bad words. Even though his reaction was aggressive, it made him feel a bit relieved. This shows that aggression can sometimes be used to reduce frustration, even if the right way to handle it. So it means when someone is trying to reach a goal and something gets in their way, they get frustrated. This frustration can make them act angry or aggressive. The closer they are to achieving their goal, the stronger their frustration will be. Not everyone who gets frustrated becomes aggressive. Some people stay calm, but those who think that being aggressive will make them feel better are the ones who are more likely to act that way. Thank you.
Leonardo Berkowitz explained the foundation aggression theory. Example: Do you want to know more about Leonardo Berkowitz's work on the frustration aggression theory, or perhaps explore other key points from the presentation? Published article in 1989, Frustration Aggression Hypothesis, Examination and Reformulation. Sample: Would you like to deeper into the article? Frustration Aggression Hypothesis, Examination and Reformulation, or words. You prepare to explore other aspects to this representation. Frustration does not always lead aggression. Would you like to explore this reason why frustration might not always lead aggression, or perhaps review other slides from this representation? Aggression increases when frustration is paired with environmental cause. Environment cause can active aggressive thought and feelings. For example, saying weapon can prime aggressive thought making and response more likely when. Thank you.
Description: The passage explains that frustration can lead to aggression, especially when people feel blocked from achieving their goals. Some individuals are naturally more prone to aggression and have difficulty controlling it, making them more likely to react aggressively when frustrated. Situations such as losing in sport or facing obstacles in business can trigger achieve behavior. The likelihood of aggression increases the closer a person is to achieving a goal because excitement and expressions are high. Being suddenly blocked creates strong frustration does not always result in aggression. People may surprise when they believe aggression is wrong or fear negative special consequence. Example: Football crowds can become aggressive when their team starts to lose.
Inferiority complex and Alfred Adler's theory. According to Alfred Adler, who was the first one to coin the term inferiority complex, every child experiences the feelings of inferiority as the result of being surrounded by stronger and more capable adults. So ingon pa niya, tanan bata makafeel nga dili enough tungod kay nagdako nga gipalibutan og mga adults na mas capable. So maong usahay makana ta nga dili ta pareha nila kay sila mas maayo ug mas kusgan. So as the child grows, he becomes obsessed by his original feelings of inferiority he experienced earlier. and so he strive for power and recognition. So samtang magtubo do ang bata kanang ingana na feeling nga dili siya enough, masuda siya hunahuna. Tungod ana, mas ma-encourage siya nga maniguro na makabot na. So for example is, if ang bata kahibaw siya nga hinay siya sa klase, maniguro siya study para ma-prove niya na kaya sad niya. So if the child failed to meet certain life challenges during his act of compensation, then he will develop an inferiority complex. So kung ang bata kuno dili nila masulbad or balampasan ang problema, samtang gitry niya i-compensate iyang kaugalingon, diha ma-develop ang inferiority complex. So ato i-relate sa katong ato example nga ang bata hinay siya. So if mawadan gani siya pagsalig iyang kaugalingon nga sige na siya ka-fail, diha na ma-develop ang inferiority complex, diha na masud sa kabata. So according to Adler, every child feels inferior, but not everyone develop an inferiority complex, which only affect those who fail to compensate correctly. So according to Adler, tanan bata makabati og pagkulang or inferior, pero dili tanan bata ma-developan og inferiority complex. Ang maka-inferiority complex ra daw ang mga bata nga nag-fail malampasan nilang pagkuwang. An inferiority complex is a lack of self-worth, a doubt, and uncertainty about oneself, and feelings of not measuring up to standards. So, ang inferiority complex daw ay kulang ka sa pagsalig sa kagalingon. Magduduha ka if na-meet ba nimong standard sa uban mo, nang diri na nimo bation, kanang more bitaw permi ka ubos kaysa sa uban. So, example is, like sa klase, if na kay idea or gusto i-suggest sa uban, dili nimo masturya kay tungod wa kay salig sa imong kagalingon, or mauwaw ka, nga na. So, in modern literature, the preferred terminology is lack of covert self-esteem. For many, it is developed through a combination of genetic personality, characteristic, and personal experiences. So, sa kadaghanan, kuno, ma-develop ni mostly pinaagi sa genes, mga personality or characteristics sa kaliwat, o mga personal experiences. So, Adlerian makes a distinction between primary and secondary inferiority feelings. So, a primary inferiority feeling is said to be rooted in the young child's original experience of weakness, helplessness, and dependency. It can then be intensified by comparisons to siblings, romantic partners, and adults. So, ang primary sa childhood dyan siya ma-develop. Kanang time na weak pa, magdepende pa sa adult nga nakapalibot. So, kanina feeling, mas mo-worse ni if sigihan tag kumpara sa igsuon nato, or igagaw nato, moingon dayon nga, may pato sila yung ani kaya buhaton. So, diha na ma-develop ang primary inferiority feeling. So, a secondary inferiority feeling relates to an adult's experience of being unable to reach a subconscious, reassuring fictional final goal of subjective security and success to compensate for the inferiority feelings. So, ang secondary, ma-develop ni siya sa adulthood. Ma-feel ni ang secondary if ang adult kay dili niya maabot iyang goal or pangandoy nga makahatag untag security sa iyang kaugalingon. So, kanang ma-feel niya nga layo pa siya sa goal na makahatag unta sa iyaha og security, ay na musud ang depression. So, naay reassuring goal para maibanan ang primary inferiority feeling, pero naasad ni reason nga naay secondary inferiority feeling. Tungod kay ipugos man sa tao nga maabot ang goal para mawala sa iya ang feeling nga wa siya'y gamit. So kaso pabalik-balik ra pud siya nga ma-fail. So imbis na mugaan ang iyang paminaw, mas na-depress siya kay wala na reach ang reassuring goal. So an inferiority complex occurs when the feelings of inferiority are intensified in the individual through discouragement or failure. So mo-occur jud ang inferiority complex sa usa ka tawo kung mas mutaas ang iyang feeling na wala siya'y gamit kay tungod sa pabalik-balik na failure. So those who are at risk for developing a complex include people who show signs of low self-esteem or self-worth, have low socioeconomic status, or have a history of depression symptoms. So mas mo prone or mas risk makadevelop og inferiority complex ang mga tao nga naay ubos na self-esteem, pobre og naka-experience ng depression. So many times there are warning signs to someone who may be more prone to developing an inferiority complex. For example, someone who is prone to attention and approval-seeking behaviors may be more susceptible. So kasagaran na agi mga warning signs na makita sa usa ka tawo na prone makadevelop og inferiority complex. Ang pinaka the best example ani is ang mga attention seeker o approval seeker. So according to Adler, everyone has a feeling of inferiority, but the feeling of inferiority is not a disease. It is rather a stimulant to healthy, normal striving and development. So according according to Adler daw, tanan tao maka-feel og pagkulang, pero ana siya dili daw ni sakit. Instead, mao daw ni ang mahimong inspirasyon para ma-improve o ma-develop. So it becomes a pathological condition only when the sense of inadequacy overwhelms the individual and far from stimulating him to useful activity, makes him depressed and incapable of development. So mahimo ra ni nga problema if ang feeling na pagkuwang kay sobra-sobra na. Nga dili na makontrol sa tao kung mahitabo ni imbis inspire siya, mawad-an na lang siyang pag-asa. Nga di na siya ma-fully develop. So mawara to guys. Thank you.